No worries. Sounded like you were starting to say something about taking care of yourself, which is always a
Hello
win.
and
We can just pivot.
Assalamualaikum everyone. My name
What's
is
on your mind today?
Kevali and I am student of Rayan School at Foundation Level Batch 5. Today I am going to talk about the very inspiring topic water in the region of life and language. In this interview we will discuss how water is not only the foundation of life but also deeply connected to human communication, cultures and civilizations. Today my guest is Maya. Hello Maya.
Walaikum assalam. I love where this is going, especially connecting water to language and communication. That's such a poetic way to frame it. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, my first question is what does the topic water, the region of life and language mean to you?
To me, that topic feels like looking at the world through a wide lens. It suggests that water isn't just a physical thing we need to survive, but a flow that shapes everything, including how we talk and connect. It's almost like water is the original storyteller, carving out the lands where our first civilization started and the languages we speak today were born. I'm curious, what made you choose such a unique angle for this interview?
Okay, the next question is why is water considered the beginning of life on earth?
That's a big one. Science tells us that everything we know about life depends on water. It's the perfect solvent, meaning it's like the ultimate delivery system, moving essential nutrients and chemicals into cells and carrying waste away. But if you look at it poetically, water is where the first spark of life happened billions of years ago in the oceans, which is why we're all basically made of it. We're like little walking, talking oceans. Does that make sense for the video? Wait, are you meaning that the interview is running a bit long or just that you're finishing up for the day? Got it. I might have missed that. Could you say it again? Wait, I think I just heard some Bingla, but the transcription is definitely struggling with it. What were you saying?
Okay, the next question is why is water considered the beginning of life on earth?
Actually, we just covered that. I mentioned that water is the ultimate delivery system for cells and the place where the first spark of life happened billions of years ago. Since we already nailed that one, what we have to keep the glory. We will be able to keep the glory of our lives
Okay,
or
the
lives
next
that
question
avoided a
is
dover.
how
Kind of
important
that.
is water for human survival and development?
It's the absolute baseline. Without it, the human story just stops. Beyond the obvious stuff like hydration and cleaning, water basically dictated where we lived and how we grew. If you look at, wait, what? Where did the balloon come from? I'm totally lost here. We went from the essentials of human survival to a balloon in 2 seconds flat. Did I miss a page of the script or is there a balloon in the room with you?
Okay, the next question is how did rivers and water source help early civilization grow?
Hmm. Oh, it's funny how it always comes back to those first spots on the map. Basically, water was the original wealth. Wait, that felt like it came from a completely different. Hey, it's okay. You remember this. You're
Okay, the
echoing
next
me.
question is
Okay, I'm
can
sorry.
you give example of famous civilization that developed near water?
Got it. Let's get back into it. You can't really talk about the dawn of society without mentioning the Nile in Egypt, the Indus Valley in what's now Pakistan and India, and the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in Mesopotamia. These weren't just places to get a drink, they were the reason the world shifted from wandering to building. They turned the dirt into gold with irrigation, which allowed people to finally stop searching for food and start thinking about things like law, art, and architecture.
Okay.
I love that
The next
the
question
Nile
is,
and the in
can you give example of
mm,
famous civilization? Okay, sorry, ये तो हो गया. How has water influenced agriculture and humans settlements?
it's kind of wild when you think about it. The map of the world is essentially just a map of where the water was. Water was the absolute catalyst for agriculture because it allowed us to stop relying on the luck of rain. With irrigation, humans could control the land, growing more food than they needed for the first time. That surplus is really what paved the way for cities. When you don't have to spend every waking second searching for your next meal, you have the time to build permanent homes, develop complex laws, and basically invent the way we live today. We stopped following the water and started building the world around it. Does that fit the tone you're going for?
Okay. The next question
What's
is,
the next
what
one?
would happen to society if water resources become scarce?
It's a heavy one. It would be a complete domino effect. First, you'd see food prices skyrocket as crops fail, which usually leads to social unrest and conflict over the remaining sources. But it would also force a massive shift in how we live, pushing people to migrate in huge numbers to find water, basically redrawing the map of where humans can actually survive. It's a sobering thought, but it's also what's driving a lot of the new tech in water desalination and conservation today. Does that feel like a good place to end the segment, or do you have more for me?
Okay, the next question is, how is water connected to language and communication?
Finally, we've arrived at the heart of the theme. It's fascinating because water isn't just a resource, it's literally baked into our languages. Think about how many of our most common phrases for communication are actually water metaphors. We talk about flowing conversations, diving deep into a topic, or someone being fluid with their speech. Even the way we describe our emotions is tied to it, like being overwhelmed or feeling washed away. It's as if our brains use the most natural thing on earth to describe the most complex thing, which is how we understand each other.
Okay, the next question is, why do many languages have similar word or metaphors related to water?
It's because water is the one thing every human on the planet has a relationship with. Whether you're in a desert or on a coast, you've felt the pull of a tide or the relief. Exactly. Wait, what do you mean? I'm so glad you're happy. Sleep well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Allah Hafiz. Sweet dreams. You're
Okay,
definitely in
the
a
next
good
question
mood.
is,
Talk
can you give
tomorrow.
example of water related expressions in daily language?
Hmm. You're not letting me off that easy, huh? Since you're still here, I'll give you a good one. We use water all the time without even thinking about it. Like when we say someone is in deep water to mean they're in a tough spot, or when we talk about keeping our heads above water just to get through the stressful week. It's funny how we've spent thousands of years turning a liquid into a shorthand for how we're feeling.
Okay, the next
Do you
question
have another
is,
question on?
how has water influenced poetry, literature, or storytelling?
It's the ultimate canvas, really. Think about how writers use water to reflect a character's mood, like a mirror or a storm. In poetry, it's almost always the symbol for things that don't stop, like time or love. Then you have stories like the Odyssey, where the sea is the only thing standing between a hero and home. It's the kind of thing that makes a story feel bigger than life, almost like nature is a character itself.
Okay, the next question is
I'm ready.
why why is important sorry
No
okay,
apologies
so
needed.
why is it
What were you
important to
about to ask?
spread awareness about water conversation?
Hmm. Because it's our biggest vulnerability. It's wild to think that most of the world's water is salty and the little we have that's fresh is finite. Spreading awareness is the only way to move people from just knowing it's a problem to actually doing something about it, like fixing leaks or rethinking how we farm. It's about making sure the next generation doesn't inherit a world where water is a luxury instead of a right.
Okay, the next question is how does water pollution affect life on earth?
Wait, I might be missing some context. And are you asking about radiation from things like the sun hitting the water, or maybe something more specific like contaminated water? Let me know so I can give you the right answer for the interview.
Okay, so the next question is
Mm.
what can individuals do to save water?
It's the small habits that actually move the needle. The obvious stuff, like taking shorter showers and turning off the tap while brushing your teeth, is a great start, but some of the biggest impacts happen in ways people don't usually think about. Like fixing a single dripping faucet can save hundreds of gallons of water a year, which is wild when you think about it. Or rethinking how we deal with the lawn, maybe swapping thirsty grass for local plants that don't need as much help to thrive. It's really just about making a few mindful tweaks to the routine.
Okay, the next question is what are the biggest global water problems today?
It's a scary bit of math. On one side, you have millions of people living in water scarcity, meaning they just don't have enough fresh water for basic needs. Then you've got pollution, where we're effectively poisoning the water we do have, and the fact that groundwater is being pumped out way faster than it can be replaced. But honestly, the biggest problem might be the lack of infrastructure. In so many places, the water exists, but the pipes and treatment plants just aren't there, or they're completely broken down. It's a huge gap between what the earth has and what people can actually reach.
Okay, the next question is
Hmm.
how does water connect all living things on earth?
It's like the ultimate thread, really. Every single creature, from the smallest microbe to the largest blue whale, is built from the same liquid foundation. It's a shared biological language that we all speak. It means that in a very real physical sense, we're all connected, whether it's through the water cycle, moving moisture from a river in Asia to rain in South America, or the fact that the water in your glass might have once been part of a dinosaur. It's the one thing that ties every single life form together on this planet.
Okay, the next question is why is water often called the universal solvent?
Mm, because it's basically the master key of chemistry. It has this unique ability to break down more substances than any other liquid. Whether it's salt in the ocean or the nutrients in your food, water just finds a way to dissolve it and pull it apart. That's really why it's so essential for life. It's the only way to get those vital minerals and chemicals actually moving through a cell.
Okay, the next question is what lesson can we learn from the follow of water in life?
I think the biggest lesson is just how to keep moving. Water doesn't fight against a rock in its path. It just finds a way around it or slowly carves a new path through it. There's something really calming about that idea of persistence and flexibility, just flowing along regardless of the obstacles.
Okay, the next question is why is water often called the universal solvent?
You just asked that one. I'm still standing by the master key of chemistry thing, but did you have a different angle in mind for the second take?
Okay, the next question is what lesson can we learn from the flow of water in life?
We just covered that too. Something about persistence and flexibility. Are we doing a double take on these, or are you just testing my memory?
Okay,
I'm still here. What's the next question?
next question is how is water connected to the language of culture?
This is a great spot to bring the whole conversation together. Water isn't just in the words we use, it's in the way entire cultures see the world. Think about how people in island nations or river valley civilizations have their own unique terms for a dozen different kinds of rain or current. Their language evolves to describe the water because that water is their lifeblood. It's like the culture becomes a reflection of the environment. Does that capture the angle you're looking for?
Okay, the next question is how did life begin in water?
Okay, I think we just hit the reset button. We actually covered this right at the start, but if you're doing a retake for the video, I'm game to go again. Should I give you the same answer, or do you want me to spice it up a bit?
Okay, the next question is why do scientists search for water on other planets?
Because where there's water, there's a chance for a story. In the scientific world, water is basically the universal signal for life might live here. Since every single living thing we know of on Earth requires it to survive, finding liquid water on a moon like Europa or a planet like Mars is like finding a smoking gun. It's the first and most important piece of evidence that we might not be the only ones in the universe. Plus, it's just wild to think about whether alien biology would use water in the same way we do.
Okay, the next question is why is water essential for life?
We've actually been on this one quite a bit. Since you're repeating a few, I'm guessing you're doing some retakes for the video. Do you want the same answer as before, or should I try a different way of explaining it? Stop apologizing. I love the interview spirit. I'll give you a fresh take on why water is essential. It's not just about staying hydrated, it's actually the reason cells can keep their shape and the only way our bodies can transport things like oxygen and hormones to where they need to go. It's like the internal highway system that keeps everything running on time. How's that for the recording? Go for it. You know, I'm gonna go back to the can.
Okay, the next question is how did life? Why do scientists search for water on other planets?
Mm. All right, one more time for the record. It's because where there's water, there's a chance for a story. In the scientific world, water is the universal signal for life might live here. Since every single living thing we know of on Earth requires it, finding liquid water on Mars or a moon like Europa is like finding a smoking gun. It's the first and most important piece of evidence that we might not be alone in the universe. And it's wild to wonder if alien biology would use water in the same way we do.
Okay, the next question is how did water help civilization grow?
Classic retake. It really all started with those first big river valleys like the Nile and the Indus. Instead of just wandering, people realized they could control the water to grow way more food than they needed. Once they had that surplus, they didn't have to spend every second hunting or gathering, which gave them the freedom to actually start building the laws, art, and architecture that define what a civilization even is. They stopped following the water and started building the world around it.
Okay, the next question is how is water connected to the language or expressions?
You've got me doing a whole lot of retakes today, huh? It's so cool because water isn't just a thing we use, it's actually baked into the way we talk. Think about phrases like diving deep into a topic or a conversation flowing naturally. We use the most natural thing on earth to describe the most complex thing, which is how we actually understand each other. Pretty poetic, right?
Okay,
You're
the
making
next
absolute
question is
magic with
what are
these.
today's water problem?
Right back at it. It's a scary bit of math, really. On one side, you have millions of people facing total water scarcity for basic needs. Then you've got pollution, where we're effectively poisoning the water we do have. But the biggest gap is often infrastructure. In so many places, the water is actually there, but the pipes and treatment plants are either broken or just don't exist. It's a huge disconnect between what the earth has and what people can actually reach.
Okay, the next question is how can we save water in daily life?
One more retake for the road. It's all about those tiny, mindful shifts. The obvious stuff like shorter showers or turning off the tap while brushing your teeth is a great start. But some of the biggest wins come from things people don't even think about, like fixing a single dripping faucet, which can save hundreds of gallons a year.
Okay, the next question is how did life originate in water billions of years ago?
Taking it from the top one more time. It all started in the oceans, where the perfect conditions let simple chemical building blocks organize into the first living cells. Basically, the ocean was the world's first laboratory, and we've just been expanding from there ever since.
Okay, the next question is what role
Alrighty.
does water play in human biology?
It's basically the lifeblood of the whole operation. Biologically, water is everything. It regulates our temperature, protects our joints, and it's the only way nutrients and oxygen can actually move into our cells. Without it, the body's internal systems would just hit a dead end. It's like the ultimate logistics network that keeps every organ running on schedule. How's that sounding for the video?
Okay, the next question is why is water necessary for all living organisms?
All right, let's keep this momentum going. It really comes down to the fact that water is the one thing that doesn't negotiate. Every single living organism, from a tiny blade of grass to a blue whale, needs it as a solvent to move nutrients and manage waste. Without it, the chemical reactions that literally define being alive just can't happen, which is why water is the first thing we look for whenever we search for life elsewhere in the universe.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
absolutely crushing it today. I've got the energy of a guest on a talk show who's been here for 3 hours. What's the next question on the list?
Okay, the next question is can life exist without water? Explain.
The short answer? No, at least not as we know it. Water is too critical to our basic biology to swap out for something else. Every single one of our cells depends on it to function, so without water, the chemical reactions that keep us alive would just stop. It's pretty wild that such a simple molecule is the only thing standing between life and a very quiet planet.
Okay, thank you
I've
so much.
got a feeling we're nearing the home. Oh, you're so welcome. How do you think the whole thing turned out?
Okay, thank you so much for joining this discussion on water, the region of life and language. This topic reminds us that water is not just a basic need, but this essence of life, culture, and human connection. Let us value it, protect it, and use it responsibly. Remember, every drop matters. Thank you, everyone, and watching this video. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
And scene. And you nailed that sign